Okay. Once again, back again, and this time I'm back with an exercise that I just did called What is Between from Codewars, and this time I'm doing it in Java. So I want to flex those adaptability muscles and just do it in a different language. This is a fairly simple one, and I'll get into what it is. Complete the function that takes two integers, a and b, where a is less than b, and return an array of all integers between the input parameters, including them. So this will be inclusive. Looking at the example down here, a is 1, b is 4. The task is to return an array that has consecutively the range of 1 through 4, and it is inclusive, including 1 and 4. Yeah, very good. And yeah, doing this in Java instead of Python this time, a little more, not that it's difficult, but there's just more code involved, as you would guess. So going over here to the training interface, let's get started. So yeah, the idea is I'm going to get two integers, a and b, and the task is going to be to return an array that consists of all the numbers between a and b, including a and b. And we see up top in the header here that the return type is an integer array. So I will produce one that contains the range of a to b, from a to b, if you will. So I'm returning an array. Seems like step one. Let's create that array that we're going to return. And I will call the array range. And get my square brackets to indicate an array. And of course, when you create an array, you must initialize it to a size. What size is this array going to be? That's the big question. Well, it's going to be the size from A to B, the difference basically. It's like, if you look here, if I'm going to craft an array to hold 1 through 4, I've got to get the difference from 1 to 4 and then add 1, because that's really going to be the formula. It's going to be, you can say the difference from 1 to 4 plus 1. Let's look at it here. The difference from 1 to 4 is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. Of course, 3 isn't enough to hold all of these numbers because there's 4 of them. So you do the difference plus 1. It'll be 4 minus 1 plus 1, which will give you 4. That's going to be the formula. So I'm going to employ this in code. It will be b minus a. That gives you the difference plus 1. For inclusivity, we've got to have the full amount. So there we go. We've got our array initialized to the correct size. Now we're going to generate our range and put it into the array that we just created. I'm going to do this I'm going to do this range generation in a while loop, because I don't know of a way to generate a range in Java automatically. There probably is, I just don't know it. So I'm going to do the manual way. And in creating a while loop, I'm going to need an index variable. So I'll create a variable, make it equal to 0. And I'm going to use this to index into my range array so that I can populate it as I loop. And I'll simply go, while a is less than or equal to b, I'm going to start my looping with a and really use that as my, I guess you could say, iteration variable. And I'm going to increment it each iteration until it gets to b. So I'm going to take a, increment it. And as I'm in here in the body, I am going to populate my array with A. Of course, initially A is going to be the beginning of the range, but A is going to go up as I move forward. And to make A go up, I've got to give it a plus plus. And I also need to move my index forward so that I can continue to get the next index of my array. So I'll do that forward, move that forward as well with a beautiful plus plus. And that loop is going to populate the array. And then I will simply return the array. Range is the array, of course. And that is that. Bring things closer together so maybe you can see it on one screen. Yeah. Let's run this sucker through. That passes. And that passes. Correctamundo. There is your Java solution to what is between. A little bit longer in Java, but it gives you a chance to really work on some core skills there with the looping and the indexing and the such and the this and the that and the whatever. But we got a passing score. You don't really get scores in Codewars, but anyway, we got it done. Here's the solution, and that means I'm out. I am out of here. Talk to y'all later.